Luna Classic, price prediction and technical analysis. We'll be talking about that 200 moving average once again today. Welcome back. Moneybags Rico here, bringing financial awareness to a crypto space that is changing on the hour, every hour. With that being said, out the way, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure that bell notification is lit. Like that, you guys will not miss out on any future content. Now that 200 moving average, how important is it? Well, it's very important. Today we're up 37.7% compared to yesterday, that the chart just kept bleeding and bleeding out, right? Right now we identified the support level at this 18, this pullback that happened at that 18 level. We're just going to keep our eye on that just to have this base level saying that we're staying above this. This is almost looks close to a Wyckoff pattern. Go ahead and check it out. Go Google the Wyckoff pattern. But more importantly, I want you guys to be careful. Of course, this is not financial advice, but we have that price action that we want, right? But you're going to have to know that there's going to be that FOMO trying to catch this one when I already know that there's going to be a pullback. We're going to want to make a support above this 200 moving average, kind of like how we did in the past. If we zoom back out, we'll notice that when we first broke out that 200 moving average down over here in this area, we had to kind of, let's scoot it over a little bit. We broke out and we had to touch it a couple times. We touched it here and one time right here before we really started to rise up above it and kind of peel away from it, where we started to pay attention more to the VWAP as a way to identify when the chart was going to break out or not, right? So let's go back over to where we're at right now. Kind of starting to look almost like this, where we're going to start to peel away from this 200 moving average and kind of start to make some higher lows. But even right here in this section, before we rolled up to the top, you see these supports on this 200 moving average, right? And then eventually, once we broke underneath that 200 moving average, we lost that momentum. We stood underneath it with all these prices being rejected here on the 200 moving average, right here on the 200 moving average, all these red arrows indicating where we got rejected. Now, what's important to look at right now and be safe about is that, yeah, there's a lot of hype right now. It can run up pretty fast, but notice that we're on the opposite side of that VWAP line, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. And possibly, if you want to be smart, kind of sit back and look at, and start using your other indicators, your MFI, your Scholastic RSI as well, and notice that we are already overbought. Now, one thing that happens after breakouts like this, we could potentially find ourselves in that 61.8 range. So that Goldilocks zone, that Fibonacci sequence, maybe possibly doing a test right here on the MFI, where this will come down, peel right down to that 61.8 and kind of start to curl back up. Same thing with this Scholastic RSI. If you notice, we're kind of overbought on both of them from all that push that happened. If we go and start to layer the chart, we can see what's going on a little bit better. We can see we got the dots on the top. We have the breakout. That's very good. But now we got to be smart about this, right? We want to be able to have a long spread and be able to make some decent profits on it. And the way we're going to do that is by being able to be patient and letting the chart basically communicate with us and let us say, hey, we're staying above this 200 moving average. This breakout today past this 200 moving average, we're feeling very bullish. And if everybody reciprocates that and we keep moving along, we should stay above this 200 moving average, making higher lows into eventually, potentially having a breakout back towards maybe the 39s or whatnot like that. That would be pretty nice to see, going back into these fours. That'd be really nice to see for Luna Classic. So right now we see that same kind of downtrend happening, right? But we still have that area where that breakout was at. And it's also something to identify when these things happen. The next time we catch one of these, I'll be showing you guys how to identify the bull flag and the micro pullback, where if we go right here to the candles, we make these the Heiken Ashi candles, right? And we can wait for these initial pullbacks. Actually, on this one, it looked actually, we're starting to use KuCoin because it allows a lot of trading with Luna Classic. But if you notice, this was a micro pullback right here, this first red candle. If these red candles don't break halfway, so this being the 0 point, this being all the way to the top, if the red candle doesn't come past the 50% mark, this is basically just a micro pullback and continue to ride up. Same thing right here. Now notice where this scenario, that same idea changed right here, where this pullback, so if this was 0 and this is 100, of that, once we broke out and made another one, this little breakout, this 1, 2, 3 candle, this is that same area, 1, 2, 3 candle. As long as they stood above, it was good. The minute this one came down here and we broke now past the halfway point, it's kind of let us know that the trend has changed and we're starting to, basically consolidate. I could see us still looking pretty good to the upside, possibly waiting just to tap on this 200 moving average. Let's go ahead and layer it one more time down to the 1 minute chart and see what we have right now. This 1 minute chart is going to help us kind of do this gap and go trading that's kind of possible right now, considering that we're on the front side of the trend, right? Meaning that we're on the front side of the trend is that we're on this side of the green of the 200 moving average and not the downside of it. So being able to gap and go on the 1 minute chart is very possible right now. Also looking at this, I wouldn't take a trade like doing some gap and go into the SAR, excuse me, into the SAR line had the dot on the bottom, meaning that the trend on the 5 minute chart, like all these trades right here on the 1 minute chart, let's look at these, right? On the 1 minute chart, these trades right here can get you in trouble, because even the ones with the SAR dot flipping back on the bottom, because on the 5 minute chart, we're still technically in a downtrend. You know, we're still technically into this downtrend. So into this trend, we'll switch back over into a bullish trend with the SAR dots on the bottom. I would really wait and sit on the sidelines. Of course, not financial advice. We do have the right price action. We have the right things, and everything's looking picture perfect what we want. But now we have to kind of let that hype subside a little bit and wait and strategically plan to see that confirmation that we're staying above this 200 moving average. If we do that, moving back over to the 1 minute chart, you can start to gap and go these trades really easily. See how this one's going to look pretty tempting with the dot possibly flipping back on the bottom side. Like I said, I like to wait to know that the whole trend, at least on the 5 and the 1 minute chart, are synchronized together. It's called time synchronization, and it really does work. If you can get the first dot of the 5 minute candle, like this one right here, this dot right here, and the first dot of the 1 minute candle, once you have the right setup to go ahead and take off and you got your time frame synchronized, you're going to notice that it's a lot easier to make some of these trades happen. Not saying that you can't make them happen the other way, but to me, it always feels like you're kind of sanding against the grain when you do something like that. So as you can tell, this 1 minute chart is still having trouble right here. So, you know, it's going to take a little bit of time to see this one flip over. If you can wait patiently, we'll be looking at the price now around the 2600, okay? The 2600 back up to these 32s. That is some serious price action. Those that are trading futures know that that is serious money on the table. If you can get a trade from this 26, let's say this 26 level, back up to test these recent all-time highs of this 32, trying to go up to that 33. So this is going to be those zones that we'll be paying attention to. Let's go ahead and mark them up. So we'll see right here, that 26, holding above that, and then right here, these 32. So now this will become our range trading, right? We're going to be inside this range right here, and this is where we'll be paying attention to. As long as we stay above the 200 moving average, we know that we're in a bullish momentum. Now, if we fall to the downside of that 200 moving average, I would really think about sitting back and waiting for this to pick up again once again. All right, so go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to see more of these videos, leave some comments down below. We possibly do a live stream where I can hear what you guys want to add, some questions you guys might have, and we can answer them right there on the spot. But if you guys want to see that, I need to see some comments down below. I need you guys to smash the like button and share these videos, and I need you guys to continue to come back and experience the abundance of money with me. Until next time, you guys know what it is. Later.